Hi everyone, Sue Reed, Psychologist here. As part of my Joyful in June series, today we're going to focus on joint health and joint mobility. Now, as a psychologist, you're probably thinking, why is she focusing on the body so much? And I think something we've really got to understand is that there is really no separation between mind and body. Mental tension will show up and be demonstrated through physical tension and muscular tension and lung and organ tension in the body. A lot of emotional tension that shows up in the body will then feed back up to show up as mental tension. A really great way to move the mental and emotional and physical tension out of our system is through this joint series. So I'm going to take you through this. It's a very simple thing you can do. You could sit up in bed and do this in the morning. It requires no special equipment. I'd encourage you to practice this every day for like 20 days or 30 days and notice the powerful benefits it gives you mentally, physically, and energetically. You can do this standing or sitting. We are going to start with the upper body series. Now, you could sit on anything at all, a chair. You could sit on a yoga cushion or a yoga mat. If you've got challenges with knees and other things, it's nice to have a little prop. You could sit like this. I'll do another whole video on how to sit, but any way that's comfortable at the moment. But we are going to start with each joint of the upper body. For this, we're going to hold the arms out in front. Now, if this is challenging for your shoulders, then they can just rest. So everything can be adjusted around injuries and other things. So it could either be resting with the elbows beside the body or the arms out in front. First joints of the upper body are the fingers and the hands. For this, we're going to close the fingers around the thumb and then open them up. We're going to close and open. Now, as part of this, a way to integrate mindful awareness and focus is we bring our attention right into the hands and the joints that we are working on. We can, if you like, either visualize the hands and close the eyes while really increasing that mental attention, which can improve our proprioception, which is our connection between mind and body. We do 8 to 10 of those. The next joint is the wrist. So for this, we're going to link this to our breathing as well. So we breathe in as we take the fingertips up towards the ceiling. We breathe out as we fold down. So we're increasing the mindful attention and mindful awareness with the breath regulation. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale as we raise the palms up. Exhale as we bend them down. Inhale, exhale. You can bring the shoulders to rest for a moment. And this series, as you go through it, you do it all in one go, it can be quite a mindful connecting process. And as I said, it really helps move the mental tensions out of the body and the mind. The next movement is another movement for the wrist. So again, either arms beside the body or out in front. We take the fingers and we wrap them around the thumb. And this requires a little coordination. We are going to rotate the wrists together in the same direction. So we imagine there's like a 50-cent piece on the back of the palms. So we don't want that 50 cents to fall off as we rotate. And so it might be maybe 6 times in one direction, really putting that attention into the wrist joints. We pause, breathe in as we raise them in the opposite direction up, breathe out as we rotate down. So we could do these things and be very mindless, so not really present, thinking about what I'm making for dinner tonight, or it becomes the mindful practice. Like in this moment, there's really nothing else for me to think about or focus on except the inhalation of breath and the rotation of the wrist joints. So again, anywhere from 6, 8, 10 repetitions in each direction. Give those little pause. Then I'm just mentally moving my attention up to the next joint, which is the elbow joint. For this, we're going to just set the shoulders back slightly. Make sure that the shoulders aren't elevated up towards the ears. And then if you can, again, raise the arms as high as you can. So if they can be parallel with the floor, that's great. Now we're going to take an inhalation with the breath through the nose. And as we breathe out, we touch the fingertips to the shoulders. Then we inhale as we open the arms. Exhale as we close. It's like this is a little set of bellows, like we're closing and moving toxins, chemical byproducts, waste, oxygen, blood flow through the joints, back up through the organs and the brain, improving flow and getting rid of mental tension and agitation out of the body. Inhale as we extend, exhale as we close. And then we're not necessarily rushing through this, we're just synchronizing the movement with the breath. We let the arms rest. And if you like, the additional one we can do here, still at the elbow joint, is we'll do this one arm at a time. We're going to raise the arm up, and this may seem quite strange. It's a rotation of the elbow joint. So we can support under the tricep, and then we're going to try, it may not seem very possible, to rotate the arm maybe just 5 times in each direction. So we're rotating. Again, we're moving joint fluid mobility. We pause. Now, I started my career as a personal trainer, and you probably know personal trainers cannot count. It's always one more, or one less, or several more. So just a big part of the mindfulness here is the mental counting. So when you do it by yourself, you might be, okay, that's 5, and you'll know, and then we'll change to the other side. So if you're like, her counts don't really add up, makes sense. So we keep the shoulders relaxed. Now I've had significant injury to this arm and obviously still recovering from major surgery, and you can see the limitation compared to my other side. My bicep was snapped straight through and all the rotator cuff tendons and muscles. So it is, I'm going to be needing a lot of these joint movements over the winter months to rehabilitate. But it's really reminded me how impactful lack of movement is. The pain that's generated, the toxins that build up, like it's incredible. I'll be needing to do quite a bit of work on this one. Pausing, bringing that to rest. And just notice what it feels like through your fingers, wrists, and elbows so far. You might be able to sense a bit of warmth, a bit of tingling, a bit of heat. Then mentally bring your attention awareness up to the shoulder joint. This is the next rotation we're going to go through. And for here, if you can, just take the arms as high as you can. If it's just out to the side, absolutely fine. If you can do it parallel to the floor, great. Then we're going to take the fingertips, pop them on the shoulders, and we're just going to imagine drawing the biggest circles you can with your elbow joints. So if small, if it needs to be, or big, if you've got that movement. This will be interesting seeing the difference in my arms. As we breathe in, we bring the elbows forward. We continue to breathe in as we raise the arms up. We breathe out as we go back and down. And then we continue in, back, down, synchronizing with the breath. One more full rotation. Pause, opposite direction. Breathing in as we move back. Continue to breathe in as we move up. Breathing out. I do wish I'd recorded all these before my shoulder injury, but it's part of the process, right? And down. Now, in my daily practice, I'd probably do 6 to 10 rotations, but if I'm limited for time, 5 is plenty, 5 in each direction. The important thing is bringing stillness and presence and groundedness to the body and movement. And interestingly, in a world of chaos and complexity, this simplifying and coming back to the present moment actually does help us move into this state of joyfulness, this present moment engagement. Bring that forward, let that rest. Notice what that feels like. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. And the last two joints of the upper body are the neck. Well, actually, there's the neck, the jaw, and the tongue, but we're going to move to the neck. So here, very gently, we're going to tuck the chin down towards the chest. And then we're going to think of raising the nose and the chin up to the ceiling. We breathe out as we tuck the chin down. Breathe in as we take the nose up to the sky. Now you can continue this 5 or 6 times in each direction. And I've spoken about this before, but all of our brain-body communication is governed by the nerves, these nerves that run down from the brain through the base of the neck into the body and innervate all of the organs and the gut and the lungs. And when this is tight through the neck, it can really start to impact the quality of communication between the brain and the body and the brain. So we really want to make sure we're releasing tension through the neck. We bring the head back to neutral. The other ones you can try for the neck are to take the ear. So in this case, I'm taking my right ear down to my right shoulder. I'm holding. Then as I breathe in, I'm very gently bringing the head back to neutral, and I'm taking the left ear to the left shoulder. So we're keeping the axis of the head quite centered as we tilt it over to the right. As we breathe in, we bring the head up, we breathe out, over to the other side. And again, you could try 3, 4, 5 repetitions. Back to the center. Very important one here for mobility and releasing neck tension is then to turn the head on the axis of the neck. So we're going to take our eyes around to the right as though we're looking along the horizon. So we're just turning as far around, and I can really notice my neck being quite jammed up, so taking as far as you can. You might pause at the end range, give it a little release, go a tiny bit further. Then eyes along the horizon, imagine a beautiful sunset as we take the eyes all the way to the other side. And then back to the center. Notice what that feels like. If it's quite jammed and tight, very important to keep working on that. I'm going to show you one that actually helps with the jaw, even just opening and closing the jaw. So we're going to open as far as you can. A lot of tension, mental tension, anxiety held in the jaw, and close. And then, I swear this is a real thing, we are going to include the tongue. The tongue is an incredibly important muscle that completes the whole circuitry of the musculature of the upper body. We're going to stick the tongue out, and close, open, and then take the tongue from left to right. And even try and touch your nose. Now I'm wondering, did I clean my tongue after that coffee? So maybe do this in private, but moving the tongue, sit for a moment, let that settle into the body, see what that feels like. I'm expecting you'll feel tingling, warmth, clarity of mind. You'll get rid of some of that mental fog. Let me know how this goes. It's a very simple but incredibly powerful practice. Thanks so much.